Your Royal Majesty, I seek your indulgence to adopt the protocol that has already been established by the previous two speakers, simply for fear of committing a faux pas. The key terms of the agreement that is about to be signed by NMPC and ONIM includes the modalities of undertaking a feasibility study and FEED study. It also provides the governance and management of the studies phase, the timelines of the studies, the joint financing of the studies, the involvement of third-party countries along the pathway of the study, of the pipeline. If at the end of both the feasibility and the FEED, a project is established, then definitive agreements will be entered into by both parties as well as third-party countries along the path of the pipeline. The project's governance includes a steering committee. The steering committee shall have 3 members from each of the parties, amongst which the chairman will be selected. It shall also include a secretary. The steering committee may invite representatives of third-party countries and other stakeholders. It shall also meet every month during the first year, then once per quarter in the second year. The steering committee shall take all major decisions, such as the appointment of the advisory committee and the project management team. It shall also approve the budget as well as the studies. Its decisions are taken by unanimous decisions. The steering committee, after its establishment, shall also appoint the advisory committee. And in the advisory committee, each party will appoint 3 members that are usually experts in their own fields, among which a coordinator will be selected. The advisory committee advises the steering committee. It advises on strategy, studies, and contracts. It also develops accounting procedures, cash call procedures, contract award, as well as delegation of authority manual. Again, its decisions are taken by unanimous votes. The advisory committee shall also include parties will appoint party representatives. One of the parties to the agreement will be responsible for the management of the contracts, the funds, and if any, claims that arises as a result of prosecuting the feasibility study. It shall also appoint the project management team with participation from each of the parties, including the selection of a management consultant, which shall be appointed by the steering committee. It shall also have secondees from both the parties, NMPC and ONIM. This body shall manage the project and provide support services. In particular, it shall be in charge of the establishment of budget, performance, as well as report on the feasibility and FEED reports. Okay. allocation of key roles. The parties to the agreement shall have allocated evenly on a balanced level the key roles between themselves. During the feasibility study, NMPC shall appoint the chairman of the steering committee and be the party's representative, while ONIM shall appoint the secretary of the steering committee and the coordinator of the advisory committee. During the feed, the roles are reversed. NMPC and ONIM will switch their roles. ONIM shall appoint the chairman of the steering committee and be the party's representative, while NMPC shall appoint the secretary of the steering committee and the coordinator of the advisory committee. The agreement seeks to reflect a balanced collaboration and sponsorship for our two public partners, NMPC and ONIM, for this important project, in line with the excellent win-win collaboration developed between our two countries. The management structure is equally allocated. The head offices are both in Rabat and Abuja. The financing of the feasibility study, as well as the feed, shall be equally shared. Okay, the timeline for the project. The feasibility study shall be completed within a year from the date of execution of this agreement. The feed study shall end 9 months after the approval of the feasibility study. Considering the above, shall the results be satisfactory, the execution of the definitive agreements between the parties and the third-party countries are contemplated within 2 years. There is a strong commitment to involve interested countries, both along the right-of-way of the pipeline and other countries that may not be even within the right-of-way. Third-party countries shall be invited when relevant and appropriate to the meetings of the steering committee. The steering committee shall determine specifically the way to involve such party countries besides invitations to its meeting. Your Royal Majesty, this is the provisions of the MOU which have been negotiated and are now going to be executed. Thank you very much.
Our Royal Majesty, permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Your Majesty, it was not an accident that you and your senior brother, President Muhammadu Buhari, decided to start this initiative with fertilizer. Why? Today, we're talking about gas pipeline from Nigeria to Morocco and to terminate in Europe. Can you do that project on an empty stomach? No. And that is why the two brothers, His Majesty the King of Morocco, President Muhammadu Buhari, decided to start with an input so that food can be created. We can feed ourselves. We can have the energy to think, to do this ambition project that we have started. Just to recount where we started, the two leaders started with just single visit, where the Majesty visited Nigeria in December 2nd. And this ambition MOU was signed between FEPSAN and OCP of Morocco. Just like my Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs said, 8 weeks, the fertilizer is in the farm in Nigeria. Today, we are here to take this project to the second phase between Nigeria and Morocco, how to increase the capacity. The potential of fertilizer input in Nigeria, we have a potential of 8 million tons. And we just started with 1 million tons this year. And we're going to double it next year. We have a development program to take this fertilizer to 6 million tons by 2020, inshallah. Today, we're talking of the second phase of our collaboration with OCP Morocco. When we started this project, like we said, it's a very ambitious one. We're to deliver 200,000 metric tons of raw material, both from Morocco and from Nigeria locally, from 4 different locations to 11 blending plants. There was a lot of logistics challenges that we never envisaged. These are the key points that we learned from this presidential fertilizer initiative. Today is being called the wonders of Africa, because the wonder of Africa was created by 2 countries, by Morocco and Nigeria, under the South-South Cooperation. The fertilizer is affordable and is delivered to the farmer. But how do we make it more affordable to the farmer? How do we make it get to the farm gate of the farmer? This is the collaboration between Morocco and Nigeria. FEPSAN and OCP have discussed it. The logistic, the transportation. Transportation in the first phase of this project was challenged, but today we're reaching an agreement with OCP on how to solve the logistic problem. Both countries will be investing in the logistics. Storage facility in those plants were also challenging. So we've designed cluster. My colleagues, Mustafa Terab, will be sharing with you later when he wraps up this. We're going to create in-house, inland logistics storage, common sharing logistics in the ports and in the factory zone. This storage facility is not just only for distributing fertilizer, not only for distributing the raw materials. It's also going to be a one-stop shop where the farmers also can bring his produce and sell. We're guaranteeing the farmer cost plus profit. Capacity and capability. From the first MOU that we signed and we have implemented, we realized that to create the capacity, that's where we're building, we're designing the transportation and the storage facility. And the capability, where do we go from there in terms of soil specific? This too is taking us to optimize the current blending capacity. It's taking us to increase the total blending capacity and the balanced blending plant spreads across the country. Today, this is the MOU we're going to sign between Nigeria and Morocco to strengthen the logistics, to increase the capacity so that we can have the sustainability of this initiative. In this MOU, to optimize the road and the rail transport, establish the strategically located holding storage facility across the country, modernizing and expanding the existing plant because the plants, they're a bit old. We're working with OCP, with their technical team and the Nigerian technical team to see how to optimize this blending plant and automate them to a more modern plant. And also to establish new plants, ensuring it is spread across the geographical region in Nigeria. This is where we're here today. And I want to use this medium to thank His Majesty for believing in your people in OCP, for believing in FEPSON. Like I said the last time you were in Nigeria, you just did one visit, and one visit created this project. One visit created the gas project. And I believe next time you visit, we're going to have more projects. Merci beaucoup. Shukura Gazeli. Thank you.